unfortunately, I was sexually abused as a child growing up. And one of the things that I did as an adult after business school and living in America is that I went back to my community and I prosecuted a case against my abuser. And he ended up going to jail. And I think this is a topic that's always delicate to discuss, but I bet lots of people in this room have had a pretty bad experience with the advent of the Me Too movement. I think many of us are talking about these issues because they're really important, and it's kind of the dark side of our society, and these things happen, but the only way that we can overcome them is by talking about it and helping victims and getting rid of that culture of shame around abuse. And so I went back to my own community, and frankly, people weren't very supportive, you know? Even my parents weren't supportive of me doing that, but I did it because I felt a moral obligation, and I wanted to make sure that I protected other kids from having that happen to them by that same abuser. But as I did that, I also recognized over time that I had an obligation to everybody to say something about it. And so I ended up using my voice to write about my case and the fact that we'd had this successful prosecution. And then, you know, one of the newspapers in England ended up using that as a cover story. 1 million people read that story, and I had, you know, thousands of people reach out to me and say that that inspired them to come forward and stop abuse that was happening to them, to go after court cases, and basically help their own communities. And so I think that was a really big and important step for me in using my voice in order to hopefully, you know, have you know, and become a social activist around an issue that was very important to me, and one that I think the Pakistani community had to deal with, but also every community, it turns out. And so I think that I'd like to be able to continue to help others in that light, as well as to help them, you know, in order to, you know, hopefully inspire role models. I think, you know, when I was growing up, nobody who looked like me was an entrepreneur. I didn't see people like me, you know, doing the job that I do now. And I think that it's really important that now that I am here, I can help others. And so, you know, that part of giving back is very, very important to me.
Yeah, and I feel like,
Thank you.
I love that story, and I feel like the healing happens when we unite. The healing happens and the progression happens when we connect, when we unite and connect.
Yeah.
And I love that you shared that with us. We just have a couple more minutes, and I'm dying to know, there's a lot of similarities in your stories. I think we're more alike than we are different to everyone in this room. And I'm just curious, you said your parents weren't very supportive, and I'm sure everyone in this room has a dream, and there's probably someone close in their life who might not be that supportive. And what goes on in your perspective when you don't get that support from someone who is close to you in your life?
I think that, you know, sometimes if you don't have that support, if you do, that's amazing, and harness that and use it. You know, I've got friends where, you know, their mum is texting them in the morning saying they're amazing, right? And that gives them the boost that they need. But if you don't have that, then I think it's really important to do that for yourself, right? As I mentioned earlier, it's really hard to have the confidence to go out and do these things, and it's really hard to think that you're good at things. But remember that you probably are, and I'd say take that confidence, take risks in your life. You're never going to get anywhere if you're staying in that exact same road that someone else has predetermined for you. And so if you can, whatever it is that gives you confidence, maybe it's becoming more knowledgeable about something. If you want to go into a room and you want to show that you're the best in it, you have to know everything about that issue, do it. Learn everything that you can so that you can have that confidence. So whatever it is that gives you confidence. For some people it might be, you know, I went to the gym this morning and I've got my endorphins going, and that gives me confidence. But build your confidence so that every time you go into the room, you're giving yourself best chances that you can.
I love that. So my takeaways from this afternoon is from you, and the inspiration to me is just determining what you want to go after. And then I saw you problem solve around those things, those roadblocks that were in the way. I saw you never giving up. I saw you having confidence in yourself. What an inspirational story that you offer.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Rushwana Bashir. Thank you so much for being with us here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Rushwana Bashir. is a great example of someone seeing an opportunity, pursuing it, just like each one of you has. Each one of you is doing, and you're in the process. And Nu Skin, there is a home for you. No matter what your goals are, you get to decide. And we love to celebrate your successes at every phase of that journey. Let's take a look at how we celebrate.